Did you send it? I told you he wasn't sending it.
Usually I do sometimes, but she always read the truth for the most part.
For the most
I'll
part.
be sitting on Facebook.
Tribe mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Make sure it's on there.
Tribe mentality. I like that.
All right. Shalom, shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Here again on this mid-rash Wednesday. About to get it started. Jamal, if you don't mind, can you lead us in prayer, please? So we can get this thing started.
Yeah, Heavenly Father.
Mike, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you, thank you for each of us being awake this morning, being on top of the ground. Thank you for this lesson we're about to learn. I pray to be real good. We chew the cut on it. And I pray for everybody who's not here. In Yeshua's name I pray.
Amen. So, we've been going through and we're learning about what it means to be a tribe, right? So this should really be titled, What is a Tribe? We're not really going to answer that part of the question today, but there is a question I want to ask y'all. What system does a tribe operate in?
Is this a biblical question or?
Just from what you know about tribes.
What was the question?
What system does a tribe operate in?
Oh, usually like wilderness or
The nationality.
Nationality. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because most tribes usually out there like in third world countries or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
really, I don't know what you would call it. Because they usually have like a chief, and they have a hierarchy under the chief. So I don't know.
That's good. That's really good. So, to make a long story short, huh?
Is it democracy?
Maybe.
You said democracy?
Um,
A tribe operates in a...
tribe.
No, I don't know why I keep doing that. Hold on, wait.
I'm about to play.
Stop playing with me. Stop it. A tribe operates in
Patriarch.
a patriarchy. Everything in this world that we're living in right now, it's really upside down. It's really the Twilight Zone. So when you look in it, I don't like using this word, but biblically, right? When you look in the what they call the good book, there's an order that's been established. Now, probably not going to be popular because of this, but we got to go over it. So in y'all's own words, what is a patriarchy?
A male figure, an older male.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
they
So a patriarchy, first used in the 1560s, but we know it goes before that. Ecclesiastical province under a patriarch. Church government by patriarchs. So again, whenever you come to an assembly, that is a government. We got to keep, putting that in our mind, right? It's a form of Greek patriarchia, from patriarchies, male chief or head of a family, meaning system of society or government by fathers or elder males of the community. That's the system that tribes operate in. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to be all confused, and I'm going straight to it today. This world wants us to go against the order that the Most High set up, period.
Right.
It's straight rebellion, right? Okay. So more about patriarchy from Merriam-Webster. It's a social organization marked by the supremacy of the father in the clan or family, the legal dependence of wives and children, and the reckoning of descent and inheritance in the male line, right? A society or institution organized according to the principles or practices of patriarchy. But whenever you look through the book and you look at when they order genealogies, you usually see from father to son, because you and your father are one. That's how it should be, right? That's the way it goes. But in this society, it's like the man doesn't matter. Now, I'm not trying to teach a lesson, because I know you got some powerful series coming. Yeah.
That's true.
But this world, everything is on its head.
Yeah.
And it's like it's bad if a man is not feminine.
Well, that's weird to me. That's so weird to me. I don't want to be feminine.
But that's what they want. They want a pacified, soft male that's just a yes man. That's what they want. Because again, everything is against the order that the Most High set up. Right? So tribes are about patriarchy. And I say that, and we're going to learn more about patriarchy. So it says patriarchy in a tribal structure refers to a hierarchical system of a society in which men control political, economic, and cultural structures. The significance of virginity in patriarchal society structures the honor-shame complex. When you are outside of that structure, that's when it's all about being a free spirit. Women can be hoes. They got all these baby daddies and this, and that. That's from a feminist society.
Yeah, but when you're not in it, you ain't got to be ashamed.
No, there's no shame. There's no shame facing this at all. You know, you can just be free. Just be whatever you want to be. Right? But that's against the order that the Most High set up. So then it says patriarchal systems persist in most tribal and developing countries. That's what you said. In Africa and in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Which that's really Africa. I mean, that's Northeast Africa. That's what the Middle East really is.
Should in Americas too, though. The Native
Right. It should. You're completely right. But I'm pulling all this from a specific source where it talks about tribes, right? And the more that you read about tribes in different books and sources, the more you start really understanding that they hate tribe culture. Like everything is against a tribe.
So they know what they doing.
And it makes no sense because then they'll say stuff like, "Oh, the natural state of humankind is actually tribal."
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is not the same authors out of the same books. It don't make no sense. I'm reading different books. I'm like, why y'all keep saying that? Like, there's nothing good comes out of it. It's all kinds of, upheaval and corruption and this is that. I'm like, so what about capitalism?
Yeah.
What about globalization? What about all this stuff?
About
Communism, right? But it's something about the tribe that they can't stand because when men are men, especially since they are the actual world minorities, those that are in power and should not be, they have to destroy the dynamic that the Most High set up.
Yeah.
Steal, kill, and destroy. Steal, kill, and destroy, right? So again, patriarchy. I'm just going to say Ed and James, because I can't say those names. Ed, James, and Foe believe that patriarchy is predominant in Nigerian tribal society.
That's it.
No, but listen though. So they call us niggers because our people came from the Niger River Valley, right? So that would means that's a part of your natural system or way of life. Then it says, in the Middle East, Arab women are a minority in Israel and they live in a patriarchal male-dominant system. But just to show you that this is your true culture or heritage, I'm going to show you the worldwide tribal statistics.
I'm about to say that Africa's still tribal.
Right.
For the most part. Still tribal.
Now check this out. Oh, go ahead. You can read that. Go ahead.
All right. Tribal statistics. Tribal population constitutes 6.22% in over 90 countries of the world.
So a very small degree now because of the colonization and all this other stuff. They completely destroy tribes, right? Okay.
2013, the United States has 2,907,272 tribal people.
So, because you remember, because there was only 5 civilized tribes.
Yeah.
So they effectively basically did away with all the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
There were
that's
thousands.
all
There were
over.
thousands of tribes over here, right?
Yeah.
But they completely destroyed that dynamic here as well.
They condensed them all into 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Tribal peoples constitute 8.6% of India's total population. About 104 million people belong to tribes in India.
So in India, it's still, even though it's a low percentage, it's still a lot.
Yeah.
You got 100 and some million, right?
Yeah, but they got about 1 million people over there too.
Right. So that's a tithe. That's a tenth of it, right? Okay. Now go to the next one.
All right. About 260 million indigenous and tribal people live in Asia and the Pacific.
So in Asia, in the Pacific, you get even more. Now let's check this one out. This is the main one.
Okay. In Africa, the studies show that the continent has 54 countries, 3,000 tribes, and 1.3 billion people.
That is your natural state, is operating in a tribe. That's why they don't want you in that. That's why they had to ship you everywhere to destroy that dynamic. Because your rod and your staff is supposed to comfort and support you in everything, which is your tribe. But that's what they don't want. They don't want tribing up. They don't want none of this stuff. They want you to stay divided. Because a house divided against itself,
Don't fall.
it can't stand. It's literally your culture. And then they had to, in order for them to do all this stuff, it enables them to domesticate you as a man. They just want to keep emasculating us. We have to bend the knee and bow down to the woman.
They mold you how they want to mold you.
Right. They want to create us in their image.
Normalize it.
Bro, like the stuff you start this research and stuff, like, man, why can't we just be who we are? You know, y'all do y'all and we'll do what's natural to us. That is, again, this is our natural state. This is tribe mentality. It's about a patriarchy. Okay. And so in case y'all don't know, it's literally a curse for us to not be a part of a patriarchal tribe or system. Now, I'm going to show you that. We're going to go to the book of Isaiah. We're going to go to chapter 3. We're going to go to chapter 3. We're going to read, I believe it's the first 12 verses of Isaiah chapter 3. If you don't mind.
All right. For behold, the Most High of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff.
Now we're going to go look into what that word stay and staff actually means.
The whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
Mm-hmm.
The mighty men and the men of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient.
So if the Most High is taking all this away from Judah, what kind of strength do they have? He said, man of war, judge, prophet, prudent man, and ancient. That's all the wisdom, strength, and everything.
Some soft men.
Huh? Effeminate, domesticated, weak for no reason, right? That's what the Most High said he was going to do. And we're going to see if he was a liar. Keep going.
The captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator.
So then we can't
They
even,
have nothing.
because we can't even pass down our oral traditions no more.
They have nothing.
Because most of us, we can only go back a certain amount of time, and then we don't know where we come from at all. This is what the Most High said he was going to do, and this is exactly what he did. Because of our disobedience. It's a curse when we're not a part of a tribe, not a part of a patriarchal system. This is about mentality, right? Keep going.
Mentality,
Okay, now, mentality. Yeah.
And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them.
Now, how many people around here see kids that just completely run a whole household? And if you take it even further, oppressors, their children used to just rule all over. They used to literally use us as stepping stones.
That happens all the time.
Huh?
Nowadays, kids running the whole house.
But that's what happens when men don't step up. So this is still about the spirit of Elijah. This is still about truth coming back. This is still about the hearts of the fathers turning to the children and the hearts of the children turning to the fathers. But we have to change our mentality, though.
Yeah.
It literally, bro, this is what the Most High said he was going to do. This is, if you look at our people here, that's all you're going to see. Like, man, these kids is wild. They do whatever they want to, talk to anybody any type of way.
Stop, Johnny. Stop, Johnny.
So, I'm not trying to teach your lesson, your series. I'm really not.
Oh, no, you're good.
But it was on me, though. I was like, okay. So we're going to keep over. So it said, children will rule over you. So we're going to look at what that word stay, because it said stay and staff. He's going to take that away, right? So that word stay is, as Miss Shane, it means support and staff. We know that a staff goes back to a tribe, right? So that's what that means. So what does staff mean there? So stay meant support. Staff was the same word last time that was machina, right? That was that comfort or supports in every kind. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort you. Yeah. So then it's the same thing. He's taking away all types of support and comfort, getting you out of the patriarchal tribal system. That's what he said he was going to do, because us men, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We can't even blame the women. We always want to, but it was our fault. We dropped the ball. Can't blame nobody for that. Can't. We became wicked. We did that, and we have to own up to that, right? That was our fault. Because when your support is gone, you are literally living in a curse. Right. No support system at all. We're going to keep going. Go ahead.
And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient,
Mm.
and the base against honorable.
So, well, I mean, does that not sound like how our people and our children act for a majority now?
Yeah.
No, the problem is we don't have honor. Like when a elderly person literally comes into a room, you're supposed to stand up and greet them and show them honor. Children are not supposed to be getting into adult business.
Conversation.
Exactly. They should stay out of it, right? Men should stay out of women's business. Women should stay out of men's business. It's about honor. But when you're raised in a nation or a system to where they want you to stay in dishonor, unless you wake up, you'll never see it.
Well, a lot of people don't even realize that that's not honoring. They just think it's just.
Why? But that shows that they weren't taught. That's a curse.
That's why it's a curse, is because as generations came, they stopped doing
Yeah.
it. They stopped incorporating things like that.
So now it's regular.
Right.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh no, we can't control him. He just do what he'll stop in a little bit.
Go ahead, hop in our
Yeah,
conversation.
just go ahead.
Kids,
Yeah.
grown men talking with you, kids.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Okay, whatever you want, whatever you need, I'll go get you that.
Yeah.
But
Bunch
it's
of
not the
wussies.
children, though, it's with the women too.
Oh, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
I mean, I remember growing up, it was like when the men were talking, like they were in their own little area, and the women usually go either to the kitchen to cook or in their own little patio area, and then it's literally the elders were in somewhere, and then the children were always playing somewhere else.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I remember those days.
That is the
Yeah.
natural order of things. That's when you're operating in a tribe. But we've been so far removed from tribal leadership, from tribal community mindset, from the right mentality, we have no idea how out of order we are. And we wonder why we can't get together, because everything starts at home.
But then you got these nowadays women don't want you to talk with another man by yourself, but they don't know what y'all talking about also.
And you know what? That's none of their doggone business.
Huh?
They need to stay in their lane. That's none of their doggone business.
Yeah.
That's being too nosy.
Yeah.
That's literally what that is.
it's not their position.
It's not.
What are y'all talking about? What's going on? Like, come on, man.
If you need to know, I'm going to let you know. That's literally what it comes down to. Like, man, like when you having conversation, you dealing with women where, we just let y'all do whatever. Like, we don't even care. But it's almost like the woman tries to act like she's your mama and like she controls you. I hit doggone holler and look. Ain't no way, boy.
You done lost your place.
Then lost your ever loving mind.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, keep going.
When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house and of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand.
Yeah, you be our ruler, so it can all, like, the blame can go all on you. Just because you got some clothes, you got a little bit of something. But that don't mean that you actually are actually a good ruler or a good leader either. Yeah. Just because they think you have some possessions, we're just going to point you over us then. Don't make no sense. You're not judging from the heart of anything, right? Keep going.
In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be a killer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people.
Because he be like, nah, man, y'all wild. Hey, look, I don't want to be y'all ruler. I don't want no parts of none of that. No, to the no.
Yeah, pick another sucker.
Yeah, no. I ain't the one. That ain't for me.
For Jerusalem is ruined,
Okay.
and Judah is fallen.
Right.
Because their tongue and their doings are against the Most High, to provoke the eyes of his glory.
We provoke the Most High to do these things.
Yeah.
To put us in a position to where it's just like, we don't know whether we're coming or whether we're going. We don't know, like, how to survive. We literally, we're just winging it, man. Like, we can't, like, when we were talking last time, we cannot even deal with our people even righteously because we hate ourselves and we hate them. Yeah. But it was because of us. This goes back to the men. This goes back to us. This is our fault, right? Because of our tongue was not wise. We weren't seeking the Most High. We weren't diligently seeking that thing. Yeah. It was all about vainglory and stuff that don't matter. The stuff that doesn't profit us, right? So now we're going to get into this curse, right? Keep going.
The shoe of their countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. Man. They hide it not. Wide unto their souls.
Whoa.
For they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
So you be so late in the sins, you just bragging about, oh man, I just tag this girl and a mama the same night. Yeah.
It don't get no worse than Sodom. It don't get no worse than
It don't. And that's what they want us to stay in. That mentality, right? Where it don't matter. We can just say all these things and keep doing it, and there's no judgment, there's no nothing. And we wonder why as a people we can't move forward. But the Most High, He put it in His Word. Literally, it's here. It's right here. Keep going.
Say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their diligence.
So that's why So that's why it's important for us to be righteous.
Yeah.
So we're not partakers in their sin,
Yeah.
and the stuff that's coming, the judgments that's coming on this earth. Because I was going to do a whole bunch of world news. I'm like, no, we got to get to this. We got to get to it. So it's all about mentality.
Yeah.
Like, if you with us, you with us. If you ain't, you ain't. But this is what the Most High wants. He wants order. This is about the order, the patriarch, the tribe. Right? Keep going.
Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him.
And we have to start being honest while we're dealing with a lot of these things. This next verse is really going to hit. Go ahead.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path.
Whenever children are oppressing you and women rule over you, you are in a curse. I just want everyone to see that. Whenever this goes on and the man allows it, you're operating in a curse. You have to gird your loins and stand up and show yourself to be a man. There's nothing wrong with that. Women are women for a reason. You were created to be a man, so be 10 toes down.
And a lot of this is not even taught at all.
Nope.
They just think, oh, the wife is pleased and that's my job. And I'm like, no, it's really not, because if you feel a certain way as a man, you should put your foot down and be like, hey, we're not going to do this because et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I mean, whether she disagrees or not, if you feel that it's best for your family,
Yep.
then that's her duty to honor that. And it's so...
It gets so wild because women, you can't even make a vow to the Most High for things. And if we hear it, we can literally, we're like, no, you ain't doing that. We can cancel it. And the Most High is going to honor that because we are the ones that were giving the headship in this life. I can't speak about the next life.
Yeah.
But in this life, a man's a man's a man. Period. But it's about walking it, and it's not about oppressing the women either. It's not about being abusive, physically or verbally. It's not about treating them with disdain. It's not about that. But it's about making sure that there's boundaries and orders that have been set in stone, in place. Like, hey, don't cross that. Because if you get out of pocket, I will correct you in measure if I have to. Don't make me get to that point. There's no point in that. We're supposed to be moving together. We're supposed to be one unit. You're supposed to be the other half of my soul, right? That's the way it's supposed to go. But in this system, they've created a nation of rebellion, men and women. They've created a whole bunch of Jezebels, a whole bunch of Zelicas that just want to buck against the system. And our women are the main ones, or us and maybe Hispanics, maybe or whatever, but are the main ones trying to compete against the man for no reason. You're supposed to be a helpmeet. You're not supposed to be my opponent. You're supposed to be working together.
For a common goal.
What's the point in being in wedlock if you're trying to just compete or trying to rule or have dominion over the man? That's out of order. But again, we cannot be doing that stuff in rigor and being abusive. We have to make sure that we're doing it righteously.
Yeah. The righteous man and the virtuous woman bring balance.
Balance. That's what it's about. So just as a reminder, we're going to go back to 1 Corinthians 1, chapter 11, my bad. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, my bad. The first 3 verses. Be you followers of me, even as I am of Mashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. So even in the New Testament, Paul or Shaul delivered these ordinances to his people, right? That were part of different congregations that he was over. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is the Most High. That's plain. That's it in a nutshell. But to add to that foundation, we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 33. Staying away from those other ones because Ecclesiasticus 33. Yeah, that's part of the Apocrypha.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, would you read that?
There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Most High, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him.
So, last on Shabbat, I told y'all was that Psalms 118 verse 17. It's a bedrock that y'all need to write down. This is another one, because it says, "There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Most High, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him."
We say it every time, as long as you fear him.
It's all about fearing the Most High. That's what it's about. That's what's going to save us. That's what's going to keep us with what's coming, right? Now keep going,
A wise man hateth not the law,
right?
but he that is a hypocrite therein is a ship in a storm.
It's as a ship in a storm. What does the ship do in a storm? Sways.
About to
Double-minded, going every which way to every wind of doctrine, right?
Yeah.
But if you're wise, then you like
Traction, you got traction, bro. You know what you're doing.
there it is. Okay, cloven-footed. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, keep going.
A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle.
So you got to be having trust in that thing. You got to, right? Keep going.
Prepare what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up instruction, and then make answer.
Because you're trusted in the law and you're preparing for whenever answers come, especially as fathers, children, spouses come to you with questions. You got to be able to have the answers. That's why you prepare these things by studying, by diligently seeking it, right? So when the time comes, in season or out of season, you're prepared for it. And you can give the right word, right? Because again, the law or an assembly is all about government, tribe, all about a mentality.
The heart of the foolish is like a cartwheel, and his thoughts are like a rolling axle tree.
So what does that mean?
Like, just all over the place, man. Like, you know.
Just going around in a circle, ain't going no place fast.
Not even a perfect circle either.
Yeah, no.
You
Yeah.
ain't going no place fast.
No place fast.
Hurt yourself.
Yeah, you're literally gonna hurt yourself. Literally.
A stallion horse is as a mocking friend. What is that word? He
Nay.
He neigheth under everyone that sitteth upon him. I didn't know what that word was.
Yeah,
I
because
didn't see the word before.
because you know that mocking friend is mocking you because you're trying to do the things that's pleasing to the Most High. You're trying to stay in the way. They think they know, but they don't realize like there's people over them. Like you're just being a buffoon, really. You have no idea.
You make your own self look stupid.
Right, because the law is our wisdom, right? Keep going.
Why doeth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
Mm-hmm.
By the knowledge of the Most High, they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts.
So why is some days excelled over another? You just read it.
Because of the knowledge of
Mm-hmm.
by the knowledge of the Most High.
Because the Most High, He ordained it. He set this up. So when we're keeping feast days and all this is that, it's because the Most High distinguished or ordained these days. Holy, consecrated, right? Not trying to trick you, I'm just trying to make sure you pay attention.
Some of them have he made high days
Mm-hmm.
and hallowed them,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them have he made ordinary days, like regular days.
Facts, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth.
Right?
In much knowledge the Most High hath divided them, and made their ways diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified, and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed and brought low, and turned out of their places.
Because what we've always talked about is there's two seeds in the earth, which means that there's two digestions, there's two awakenings, right? There's two resurrections. And so you're either one of the ones that is blessed and exalted and is near the Most High, or you're one of those that are cursed and brought low. And our people didn't even really realize that they had become a cursed people and were brought very low. And we were literally turned out into all kinds of places throughout the world. Literally, right? Keep going.
As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it at its pleasure. So man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
So it's all due to the Most High. He gives you free will, but he'll give you what your heart desires, even if it kills you.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Man.
Good is set against evil, and life against death.
Right?
So is the godly against the sinner,
Right?
and the sinner against the godly.
Facts.
So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
Two. It's always a battle going on.
Yeah. I await up last of all, as one that gathereth after the
Grape gatherers.
gatherers by the blessing of the Most High I profited, and tried my winepress like a gatherer of grapes.
Right? So he was doing what he was supposed to be doing, right? Okay, keep going.
Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
And this is for all men, especially the men in Israel, the men that's trying to have a different tribe mentality, right?
Yeah.
Pay attention to this next verse.
Hear me, O ye great men of the people, and hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation.
Now we're about to get to it. Go ahead.
Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest he repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again.
So when I make statements like, there's no way that your kids or your spouse should be learning about the Most High before them coming through you first, it's got to be you first. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You don't want to give your strength to your children or your wife, or even like, or a brother, or a family member that all they're trying to do is just take all of your money, all your resources, and they don't have to do them. They want to be lazy. This is a mentality change that has to happen. We're not supposed to be doing these things, but we've been doing these things from generation to generation. It's got to stop. It has to. There is no going around that, right? And then go ahead, read the last one.
As long as thou
The next
livest
one.
and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any.
So your whole life, you're supposed to be walking in the dominion that you were given. The reason why you don't give your strength or your sustenance over to your wife or to your children is because you were made in the image of the Most High first. And then she was made after that, actually taken as a part of your soul. So you're supposed to be in that kingship, in that dominion. You're supposed to be walking in that concretely, confidently. Go ahead.
You should be embarrassed to give your power away to anybody else anyway, especially over your own household.
Right.
You'd be surprised.
You should never want to do something like that. You should never want no outsider come in and dictate what goes on. That don't make no sense.
It don't, but
Because the way
this is America.
Right. And the way society is set up is like, oh, well, the wife runs everything. And it's not supposed to be that way at all. And it's really sad, to be honest, because there's a lot of men out there who don't even know this knowledge, because, our people will.
Because they don't teach it. They won't
Because
teach
of lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
But because they don't know, and this is not being taught in these buildings. To where they can get their power back and understand, no, it's not her way. It's what the Father needs you to do. You need to lead. And a lot of men do not know this because they don't incorporate this because, like y'all said, this is America.
This is America, and the crazy thing about it is men really be scared of their wives.
Yes.
Or be scared of their children. Like literally on pins and needles, scared of their wife.
Scared to make any type of decision. I've witnessed it.
I know men that literally will drink themselves into a stupor every day or get high to the gills every day because they can't handle it.
And children dividing the parents
Facts.
because they have more pull than what the father says.
Yeah.
Facts.
If little such and such over here says, oh, well, this is what such and such says, and then, oh, well, why can't he do that? And you're questioning the male figure, you just took all his power away because you questioned your husband in front of this child, and the child now knows that, oh, I got power now, and they use it. It's really sad.
But when you're created in the image of the beast, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Because a child, they can only do what they've seen, and they can only speak the things that they've heard.
Back scratching them.
I'm telling you, you start reading stuff like this, and you just be like, man, why Why don't our people understand? Because we've rejected knowledge so long ago.
Yeah.
So the Most High said he was going to reject us and our children.
Yep.
And that's why, like, when Spirit of Elijah, truth comes out, tribe mentality, man, you got to stand up.
Yes.
You got to gird your loins and prove and show yourself to be a man. Don't be scared of your wife. Like, at all. At all. Right? That-
Y'all need to step up and we need to step back.
Facts.
I'm being serious.
No, I'm with you.
We have a place as women, you know what I'm saying, in this kingdom building as well.
Mhm.
So as our men step up, we need to know our place to step back now.
Yeah.
It all works together.
It works together, but again, our women want to compete
Man.
or want to control or just want to be nosy, want to be tailbearers, want to be this, want to be that, want to be everything, or want to think that they're going to give us everything that we want instead of just being quiet and listening to what we're telling them we need.
Yeah.
You're doing all this and that. That's not what I didn't need. None of that. That's not even what I was talking about. Not even in the ballpark.
And don't let your wife have like a whole business to herself and you have a regular job, and then she's not gonna really want to listen to you.
Oh yeah. You know, that's a whole nother can of worms. Like,
I'm making more money than you.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do what I say. Like,
Yeah.
Y'all mess with the wrong women, that's that.
oh,
yeah.
man, it's a lot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's when money becomes their god, right?
Worshiping that money. Your household gonna be broken anyway.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Go ahead.
The better it is that thy children should seek to thee.
See what I've been saying?
Yeah. Than that thou shouldst stand to their courtesy.
You see what I'm saying? They're supposed to be coming to you
Yeah.
because the father is the glory of the children. So from father to father is from glory to glory, literally. But we don't even take that into account. Like, man, it's supposed to be an honorable thing, it's supposed to be a glorious thing happening, but I don't really matter. In America, in this Babylonian system, we don't even matter. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, this is America. And we got to wake up and come up out of her completely.
As a tribe, for sure.
Got to tribe up and come out of that, because that's out of order. Out of order.
In all thy works, keep to thyself the preeminence. Leave not a stain in thy honor.
Again, this whole thing's about honor. So you got to do the righteous things also. You don't want to stain it. But what does preeminence mean?
That what you already been given ahead of time, right? Like before.
You got anything on that one?
From the beginning to now. Pre is before, so it's from the beginning till now.
No.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
I'm chewing the cud.
Okay, chew the cut. Hashtag chew the cut. Hashtag chew the cut.
Now, what word are you looking at?
So this is the word that's in the Old Testament for preeminence, right? Mother, preeminence, abundance, profit, superiority. You're supposed to keep that because you don't want to stain it. Because one of these days you're going to have to die and give your inheritance to another, a son, or maybe even a daughter. That's why you don't want to stain it. But that's why you want to keep the boundary set in place and keep the honor going. So the thing about a tribe is literally all about honor. And that's exactly what America does not want us to be doing.
At all.
They don't want us to honor anything. They just want to keep us in dishonor. As long as we're in dishonor, we're going to stay in sin. As long as we are in sin, we will not get redeemed. Because we are on the road to Passover. So this in Passover is literally all about redemption. Literally about being redeemed. Superiority, plenteousness, preeminence, profit, right? So back to Ecclesiasticus.
At the time when thou shalt end the days and finish thy life, distribute thy inheritance.
Right, because you haven't stained it. It's going to be honorable.
Yeah.
Right? You've set everything up in order the right way, right? Keep going.
Fodder, a wine, and burdens are for the ass,
Mm-hmm.
and bread, correction, and work for a servant.
So even in everything, when you're walking in dominion and in rulership, the Most High, He always showed us how we're supposed to be rulers over servants, right? Because everyone's a servant to somebody, right? But we're going to see if the nations that held us captive, we're going to see if they were actually honoring how the Most High wanted all men to treat their servants. We'll put it like that.
Oh, you know you
I know, but let's just, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, this is America. Maybe I'm wrong.
could be wrong.
You know, revisionist history, right? Okay, keep going.
His story, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest.
So put him to work, and you'll be at ease.
But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty.
If you don't keep him working, he gonna try to get up out of that thing.
A yoke and a collar do bow the neck.
Right? They humble you.
So are tortures and torments for an evil servant.
Right. Now, does the Most High want us to deal evil with people? Evil for evil. Okay.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle. For idleness teaches much evil. Man, I ain't think about that before.
Yeah, just keep them busy. You can give them something to keep marinating on something. But we're about to get to the point. Go ahead.
Set him to work, as is fit for him. If he be not obedient, put on more heavy fetters.
So we'll put him to work on some harder stuff then. If he don't want to be obedient, we gonna get down to the bottom of it, right? Right. But you still can't be abusive to no slave, right? Okay.
But be not excessive toward any, and without discretion do nothing.
So don't be doing stuff, to where it's without discretion. Right? And you can't be being excessive. You can't be excessively beating, whipping, punching, raping, nothing. You can't be doing none of that stuff. When you're dealing with the servant, that's what the Most High has ordained. That's how you know that there's so much judgment coming to this nation. You have to literally be blind, deaf, and dumb to not know what's going on. You just don't want to know. But again, we still have to treat servants with honor. The Most High, He's all about honor.
Because they're still people too. I mean, they're still people. Right?
Even though servants, when we think servants, we think about the slaves, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, they needed servants to help them with the ground, the work, the harvesting, stuff like that. So it's almost like they're workers. They're your servants.
It's almost like their family.
Exactly. So that's when we're reading this is kind of like what I'm picturing is that he's telling you, hey, you can't be treating them because they're your workers. If you kill them, you're not gonna have nobody to till your ground and pick up your harvest.
That means y'all gonna have to do your whole family.
Uh-huh.
Right.
You and your 2 kids.
Y'all ain't trying to work that hard. So I'm serious.
Yeah.
Literally, you're supposed to love them, like I said, like family. Case in point. Go ahead.
If thou have a servant, let him be unto thee as thyself, because thou hast bought him with a price.
So in other words, treat him like you would want to be treated.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what the Most High has always wanted.
yeah.
That's why this nation of peoples around the world that's ruling everything, they got it coming.
Should Africa be judged harshly too?
Oh man, they helped sell us to slavery. Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
yes,
And this is definitely wasn't in the slave Bible.
yeah. No, you know this wasn't in there.
It was taken completely out of
Yeah, ain't no way this was in no slavery. Ain't no way, boy.
Apocrypha.
Ain't no way. And we were also bought for a price, with a price,
Yeah.
right?
It wasn't for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep going.
If thou have a servant, entreat him as a brother, for thou hast need of him as of thine own soul. If thou entreat him evil, and he run from thee, which way wilt thou go to seek him? You have no way
So
to know
you
which
still
way.
got to treat him like a brother,
Yeah,
like your own soul.
yeah. It's like a part of the family. at the end of the day.
Did they treat us like a brother,
Never.
No.
like their own souls?
Not at all.
Nah, we were like dogs in the street.
They took the whole word servant and turned it into slave and
Boy,
did whatever they wanted to do.
yeah.
And then a lot of them actually knew that we were the children of the book.
They did.
Knew it.
They knew when we got on them ships.
Boats, yeah.
That stuff, man. That stuff's wild. Okay. Leviticus 19. We're going to read verses 11 through 19.
Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
So these are commandments that we're not supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of the Most High. I am the Lord.
Right. So that means you don't do anything wickedly, right? Especially in his name, because his name is on us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor.
Now, we still hollering about reparations. How many years later?
Man, 400 something.
400 plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
So they really behind, and
Yeah.
they're supposed to be paying us the same day or somewhere off in that time frame. At least every 2 weeks. We can't even get that,
They
nothing.
come when they come.
Yeah. No, it don't come because we still ain't got it. Because they passed a reparations bill in California, but it's got nothing to do with money.
Yeah, they said, at the end they said, nah, we'll do some type of programs instead of giving y'all money. Yeah.
The same government ran program.
Yeah.
Keep us suppressed.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that. I'm so excited. Can't you tell? Super.
Thou shalt not curse to death, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear the Most High. I am the Lord.
So, putting stumbling blocks before people, like sneakily putting pork in almost everything, or shrimp or shellfish in everything.
I'm still tripping on Roman noodles got shrimp.
Bro, that's wild. In the processing, it don't make him it for what?
Why?
Right.
What does it do?
No sense. Like, you realize they could literally make gelatin out of anything, but most companies just in America choose to use pork gelatin. Now, if you put in kosher whatever, you can find companies that'll actually use beef gelatin or other gelatin, but they'll do it for the Jewish people, but not for us over here though,
There's gotta be a reason why they doing that.
because they know who we are
know,
though.
Right. They know more than we know. And that's the part. They're like, ooh, if we can just keep them over here,
Yeah.
we can alter their foods, we can give them stuff that they're not supposed to have, so they're breaking the law.
They know most people ain't gonna look through the ingredients of what how it's been made. We just wanna eat it.
Yeah.
Wanna taste it.
Yep.
Not only that, our people is turned away from their own story.
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna read that.
Facts. Don't even like picking up no type of book, like at all.
That's where the house is from a black person. Just put it in a book.
Put it in the doggone book. Put it in now. They ain't gonna read it.
And boy,
They just gonna look at it.
They done took the whole book, dissected it, hit some other pages. Still was like, oh yeah, we got it.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Now, again, they would give us a slave Bible and all this and that, but they wouldn't be judging righteously with none of that. And this is still what we're supposed to be doing today, right? Okay, keep going.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Most High.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, just what does that mean?
I'm reading over again. Was on
Shalom,
17?
shalom, bro.
Shalom, shalom.
What verse was it?
I'll read it again. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Most High.
Bam, what does that mean?
What is a talebearer anyway?
Hello.
A talebearer? I know what a pallbearer is.
Jeremiah, somebody's running around telling lies and all this about it, about people.
Oh, why don't we say liar? I know what a talebearer.
Yeah, no, that's how they talk though.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, talebearer, just over there just lying. Yeah, lying.
Yeah.
Just tattle telling, you just lying. You know, certain people are just habitual liars,
Habitual, yeah.
pathological liars.
Like those stories.
Right? We're not supposed to be that.
And the second one is like, don't kill, don't stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
Or don't-
Yeah, because everything's supposed to be righteous in judgment. So don't be lying like you know who killed somebody, or maybe you had something to do. Don't be lying on that.
Yeah.
Don't be standing in the blood of your against the blood of your neighbor, lying. Because we're supposed to be always telling the truth, especially when we're dealing with our people. Because the tribe mentality is all about honor, right? Go ahead, finish this out. Well, go ahead.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
So, not hate your neighbor in your heart. Did the people that took us into slavery, brought us over here, won't give us reparations, right?
They don't even know us.
Started calling us niggas and switch our whatever byword every so often. Do they really love us? I'm talking about the bad ones in their heart. No, they hate us. When we ain't done nothing, but built this nation,
Yep.
right? Literally,
And went to war for them.
every war for them.
Yeah.
We were the ones actually going against the natives. They don't talk about that either. We were a part of those campaigns, north and the south. It wasn't just them.
Yeah.
And most of the time, when there was places that they didn't want to go to, they would send our troops over there. And some of the times we get massacred, and then some of the times the Most High would show His hand still being with us. You start looking into this history. There's so like, I'm not even gonna be able to get to all this. Okay, keep. Oh man. Okay, we're done with this. Okay, we're gonna finish this out, man.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High.
So a tribal mindset is about love and honor,
Yeah.
especially with your own people. It's a mentality change. It's not looking evil and wickedly towards anybody. It's realizing that we need each other and we can do more together than we can do apart.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about mentality, right? Okay, keep going. Finish this out.
Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingle of linen and woolen come upon thee.
So that's supposed to teach you what? It's supposed to teach you
Don't
what?
mingle.
Yeah, don't really mingle with others. Prefer your own tribe, because in the days to come, you gotta know who you can trust. I'm telling y'all. So what we've been talking about is how America has created this system to where really a lot of men have married monsters, for lack of a better term, because everything is for the woman. It has nothing to do with the man. We don't matter. It don't care. It doesn't matter, right? So, and it was the feminist movement, right? So, who started the black feminist movement? Are y'all aware of this?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, man, because you know the only reason why they did that was so they can get more votes, because we were starting to get votes, and then they had to find out, wait a minute. Because they're creating all these black Wall Streets and all this and that, so wait a minute. We got to find a way to get to them. So we're going to learn a little bit about the black feminist movement, right? I know y'all probably can't read this. It says, the presence of the black feminist movement evolved with the second wave of the American women's movement in the late 1960s, making the 1970s a defining decade for contemporary black feminism. Although accounts of the start of the black feminist movement can be traced to the 1830s, so hundreds of years ago, right? And we must highlight the women who made strides for black feminism before the movement was named. Women such as Sojourner Truth, know about her, Anna Julia Cooper, Patricia Hill Collins, Angela Davis, Akasha Glory Hull, Bell Hooks, and Ida B. Wells. Ida B. And then it says the 60s and 70s lit a spark in the movement because of the arousal and growing tensions between the women's liberation movement and the civil rights movement. Second wave of feminism turned a blind eye towards the needs and struggles of black queer women. Wow. What does that have to do with black feminism? I'm trying to look, they are literally trying to replace women. And they don't even realize it. Don't even realize it, right? So again, the second wave of feminism turned a blind eye towards the needs and struggles of black queer women. As Audre Lorde said, white women fail feminism in their refusal to recognize differences and to examine the distortions which result from misnaming them. With steps being made that further separated the two groups, black women set out to build their own movement, separating from mainstream white-dominated women's liberation movement and employing black feminism centralized and intersectionality. So now we're going to talk about the founder of the black feminist movement, Pauli Murray, a founding figure of the separation and uplift of the black feminist movement in the 1960s and 70s was Pauli Murray, a black queer feminist, civil rights lawyer, priest. Now, wait a minute.
I'm
Yeah, because according to the book, ain't no woman, no priest. I hate to say that.
Is this a man who's calling himself a woman?
Trans or something?
Because, I mean...
Pauli Murray, a black queer feminist, civil rights lawyer, priest, and co-founder of NOW. She played an important role in civil, social, and legal organizations during the rise of the black feminist movement during the 1960s and 1970s. Mainly, she theorized and wrote about the intersection of gender, race, and sexuality, sharing her experiences of black womanhood and asserting that her identifiers cannot be separated. an ideal that fueled her legal and work and activism. Black feminism was an agenda to destroy our households. Our people don't even realize that. The black queer movement. Now that's what the article says. Fair use. This is for educational and training purposes. I'm reading the article.
You don't try to offend them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to offend nobody. I'm just reading the article for what it says, right? Okay. And so there was a part that said intersectionality, right? It says, today, we continue Murray's belief of intersectionality. The term was formally introduced by legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw in 1989. Although the concept had been described by activists many times before, it refers to the complex way in which gender, race, and other social categories interact to influence an individual's life outcome. As she says in her paper, Mapping the Margins, Intersectionality, Identity Politics, and Violence Against Women of Color. When feminism does not explicitly oppose racism, and when anti-racism does not incorporate opposition to the patriarchy, race and gender politics often end up being antagonistic to each other, and both interests lose. So again, it's about destroying the patriarchy. That's what this whole thing is about. By the end of the 20th century and into the 21st century, the black feminist shifted from being grounded in a black heterosexual woman to a more radical black feminist focusing on
Queer
and trans black women, girls, and gender non-conforming peoples. As Crenshaw states, black women are differently situated in the economic, social, and political worlds.
Why gotta be trans anything queer anything?
So again, this is fair uses for educational and training purposes. We're just reading this article.
We have nothing against the trans and queer community at all. LGBTQ.
Yeah, that don't make any sense. Because it wasn't even like a women's movement.
Plus, yeah.
So
It was a whole different agenda. Than
yeah,
that.
it even says it's to go against the patriarchy, but it's not even for black women. It's got something. There's a spirit of rebellion, and we know that rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, literally witchcraft. All right, shalom, sis. Shalom. I got more. I don't know if y'all want to stay or y'all. We can call it right here. Well, I mean that's it on this. We're gonna go get into some history. Okay, now this has got nothing to do with this. Okay. So I was gonna wait, but so we get arrogant a lot of times, and we think that only the things that happened to us in the transatlantic slave trade is all that happened. We start thinking like that. So we're gonna go back to this book called Germany's Black Holocaust, right? Because we almost glorify the things that happened to us, and we don't realize that our brethren, our family that got shipped everywhere, the same type of stuff happened to us. So Bam, if you don't mind, we're going to go over a couple of these slides. We'll only be here maybe 10 more minutes because we're not going to go over all of this. Make sure that's it. Yeah, okay.
Radical ideology by
Metel Africa, right?
By Metel Africa.
Mm-hmm.
On June 29, 1939, months before the start of the World War II, Fisher indicated something about Nazi racial attitudes when
he stated.
No, let me get it.
When he stated.
No, I see that. I'm trying to make sure those attitudes, not attributes. My eyes are messing up.
You good.
Attitudes when he stated, I do not categorize every Jew as inferior, as I do Negroes.
So this is in Germany, right? So every Jew is not inferior, and this is the Jewish state of Israel, right before it was formed.
Black folks is Jews.
Right, but every Negro is inferior, right? Because again, we just think from our lens only here in the Americas, right? So this is in Germany. Okay, read the next one.
American interest in war crimes focused on
Atrocities.
and other mistreatments dictated at
Directed
at American nationals, including military personnel. On December 17, 1944, near the town of
Belgium.
Worth, you said?
Yeah.
Worth, Belgium. 11 African American soldiers of the 33rd Field Artillery
Battalion.
Battalion.
Battalion were brutally executed.
So they just murdered 11 soldiers, right? Basically for no reason. We're gonna keep
I'm gonna
going.
say for what?
We're gonna keep going. There's more, because again, we only think about what happened to us here.
Yeah.
In an account given British war crimes, investigators, a female Polish, right?
Jew. Yep.
Jew. Where's Poland? Where's the
Poland?
It's over in.
It's all about Germany.
Yeah.
Polish Jew? Alleged that she had overheard her superior, Dr. Prima, who was responsible for a
Municipal.
municipal hospital in
Salzburg.
Salzburg, Austria, boasting to a colleague that on February 20, 1944, he was called upon to render assistance to some American flyers who had crashed nearby.
So that's a good thing. Going to help some Americans that crashed. Okay.
Okay, well, what else is it?
Yeah. Wait, that's small. Upon his arrival, he noticed that 4 Negro airmen were
Unharmed.
unharmed, while others were seriously injured or dead. Prima claimed to have executed the ones who had remained alive.
What?
So he was mad they was alive.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, hard.
You mean only the darkies survived? None of the other ones survived? Oh no. We gonna get
Something
them.
about that.
Now, but why though? Like, why? Let's keep going. Now, all this is prior to the Holocaust, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
On May 5th, 1944, witnesses said 3 colored American pilots were executed by the Gestapo while incarcerated in a prison at Budapest, Hungary.
Mhm.
The method of execution was death by hanging in a public square.
Wow.
They hang us because they know who we are.
Curse,
Yeah, it's a curse, right?
On or about September 1st, 1944, near Merzig, right,
Yeah.
Germany, 2 former SS guards said that they saw Negro American soldiers being executed after they were ordered to dig their own graves.
Yeah, that was happening too.
A citizen of Merzig noted that on September 1st, 1944, he saw 20 Negro soldiers detained in a hotel, adding that they were taken to a nearby forest and executed. The witness brought investigators to mass burial sites.
To the mass burial sites. They hate us because they ain't us, right? But, huh?
What you say?
He
To
said
mass
mass
burial
burial sites, but they hate us because they know that the blessing that's coming is going to be greater than everything that we've. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be greater than anything that we've gone through. But again, we only think from the lens of here in America, and we're going to start getting into more history, and because again, we're not taught about the Black Holocaust from Germany.
Never happened.
We never taught any of this.
Heard about it.
Right, so we're going to go through all these little slides in on this one then. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
During December 1944, 2 Afro-American airmen were shot down over the town of Hungary.
Yeah.
After landing, they were clubbed to death by Hungarian SS troops. Witnesses said that they were executed because Hungarians do not like Negroes.
Point blank. Period.
They don't even have black folks in Negroes, so how do they not like
That's
black?
why they don't.
Yeah.
You just explained it. That's why they don't.
So they're different.
They club them to death, but we want to still go in the clubs. We don't even understand that. Keep going.
This case file includes a statement by an American sergeant who claimed that on December 18, 1944, while he was being held captive in a jail at
Suffering.
Hungary, an African-American pilot in the next cell was executed later. The American sergeant explained he overheard a conversation between 2 Gestapo guards in which one of them observed Hungarians do not do this to all Negroes.
So they do this to all. Like we're hated everywhere for no reason.
So all
No
these
reason.
people was pilots.
They ain't never even had black folks over before, so how do you hate black folks?
Bro, because we used to be ruling over there, dude.
Same thing as Norway, Finland, Iceland, Greenland. They don't have black folks there. So how do you hate
So,
them?
but
A lot of them places, you know.
we used to be there.
Probably.
Long
Yeah.
story. Which we're going. That's what I'm saying. We're going to start getting into more history. But keep going.
We said the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Also on March 28, 1945, I said 45th, near Germany, a witness reported that a Negro American airman was brutally executed by the townspeople of Iserlohn upon orders issued by the local Gestapo. The method of execution was by dung fork, and other implements.
Like, no honor, bro. Killing him did like disgustingly. A dung fork, you know what dung is?
Oh, that's they pick up the
Poop.
and hay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they killed him.
That's elephant poop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta pick it up with a fork, the poop.
Yeah.
Now, with what we just read from Ecclesiasticus and Leviticus, you're not supposed to treat your servant like that at all. But you see how they deal with this.
Or your neighbor.
Yeah, you're not, but you see this, right?
Yeah.
This is the true nature, right?
On June 1st, 1945, the 21st Army Group submitted a report to the United Nations War Crimes Commission stating that Negroes were used as slave laborers at Neuengamme concentration camp in Germany.
So prior to the Holocaust, again, that's a concentration camp.
Hold on.
Or is that during
That's during Holocaust.
during the Holocaust? So
Yeah.
so we're there during the Holocaust.
Before
But-
Andrew.
1944 to 45 when the Holocaust ended and the whole war ended.
Right. But what I'm saying is, so all this stuff happened. Most of this stuff happened before.
No.
I said most of it.
Yeah.
Most of it happened before this, right? So this one, but we're in the concentration camps.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another investigation dated July 14, 1945, alleged that Fritz Schultz, right?
Yeah.
Schultz, commander of the 2nd Battalion, SS Regiment,
Der Fuhrer.
Darfur, in August 1944, near Tours, France, ordered 100 Negro prisoners of war to be executed once they completed the task of digging their own grave. This is just...
Yeah. Cause y'all think it just happened here in America.
Bro, look, if I'm one of them slaves, I'm not digging my own grave. I'm using my shovel and we're gonna have a ride.
Yeah.
We're going to hash it out.
Yeah. We can swap it out. Yeah, we can.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna dig my own grave and wait for you to shoot me and kill me. No, I'm gonna fight it out to the end.
That's worse than getting your own switch.
Yeah, might as well.
Boy, you know it is. Yeah,
Go grab me a switch so I can look you.
Man.
These statements were made by 2 former members of the battalion.
Okay, but read the next slide.
Another investigation noted that on July 16, 1945, 1,000 black Senegalese soldiers who had been used as slave laborers at a factory at Fitzlar, Germany, were executed on orders by Alfred Moratau,
Yeah.
a member of the SS and owner of the business. According to the statements of 4 French surviving prisoners of war, Moratau ordered the executions because the soldiers were stealing potatoes from
Well,
the
if
field.
you were stealing, you should be punished. But read why they stole.
The surviving prisoners explained that the potatoes were stolen because Mateo was deliberately starving them.
Starving them to death.
Yeah.
No, amen. They just stole something. Kill them all. 1,000 of them dead.
That's what most Germans did to any prisoners of war or concentration camps. Everybody was in concentration camps, they got starved. Or they died from infection or something like that, but most of them were starved to death.
Yeah. That's why it's literally going to take the Most High for us to survive what's coming, dude. Because they're coming back to Africa. Different states in Europe are coming to Africa. Israel already done said it. Britain's planning it. Like all these other nations, because they're worried. That's why they said that the West dominance is over with.
Yeah, I heard that.
So they know that they have to go to Africa. And that's what Me Tell Africa is all about. Just trying to get people to understand that their plan is to recolonize it. That's what's coming. In order for us to survive what's happening, we have to be with the tribe mentality, and we have to be righteous before the Most High. So we can get the right uploads or downloads to be able to, navigate through the stuff that's coming. I'm telling you, man. You think it's just here. It's not. It's everywhere. All nations under heaven, where we went to.
It is my theory that because of the small number of blacks, the Nazis did not develop a final solution for blacks as they did for the Jews and Gypsies. Instead, they used the existing laws.
Right.
They also went about this quietly. They did not want to draw attention to their treatment of blacks because they planned to recolonize Africa.
So that was what Germany was always going to do.
And because they were using the mistreatment of blacks by Americans as leverage against the mistreatment of European Jews.
So we just going to keep this on the hush.
So they were trying to colonize Africa and
Dude, yeah, bro. Because they know Africa's the future, bro. Even back then they knew it. And it got slow because of the rise of America being the number one superpower. But now we see that America has fallen, and now China is the superpower that's rising. That's the red dragon.
And China's over there in Africa buying stuff up.
Yeah, and exactly. And they were like, let's kill them quietly, softly. Let's not say nothing about it, right?
Yeah.
So then read this one.
I got it. In 1908, Fisher had gone on an expedition to Germany, colony of Southwest Africa, to undertake a field study of the so-called Rehoboth bastards.
So I forgot to put this in there. Now, if you remember about the civil war that happened, it was Rehoboam and Jeroboam. The descendants of the two kings in Israel, right?
Yeah.
But these people that they're talking about are called the Rehoboth bastards.
Yeah.
So they know that we the people. They still know it. They just hide it in plain sight.
Yeah.
In a book like you were saying. Yeah.
These were descendants after the Boer War, 1899 through 1902, of the Nama Hottentots of Southwest African and the Boers, inhabitants of South Africa, of Dutch or French what's that?
Huguenot.
Huguenot descent, also known as Afrikaners, Negroes,
Hottentots,
and many other are inferior. They should be protected as long as they serve our German needs.
Yeah, as long as they're a slave or a servant, they can be protected, but they're
So
inferior.
what is the word Huguenots?
I was gonna say that for next time, but okay, let's go. Let's go to Hottentots first.
Okay.
So Hottentot from 1670, from South African Dutch, said in old Dutch sources to be a word that means stammerer. From Hottentot or Hottentot, nonsense words imitative of stammering. The word was applied to the people for the clicking. They click a lot.
They click a lot, yeah.
Jerking quality of the Khoisan speech, right? So that's Hottentot. Again, something else about Hottentot. British and South African English is a term that was historically used by Europeans to refer to the Khoisan or Khoiho, the indigenous nomadic pastoralists in South Africa. Use of Hottentot is now considered offensive. The preferred name for the non-Bantu speaking indigenous people of the Western Cape area, being Khoisan, right? So that's them. Now, you asked a question about the Huguenots, right?
Yeah.
Do we really want to do that? Okay, so we need to learn about a Huguenot. Okay. In order to do that, I got to go to this book. It says Nicholas Marty, The Adventures of Huguenot, the military engineer, the earliest American ancestor of George Washington.
Oh, man.
Okay. I'm going to mess with your history a little bit. It said, to the names of Hampton. Now, I got this from Carameo Aha. So, shout out to him. So, to the names of Hampton, Pym, and Cromwell, Woodrow Wilson could well have added those of Calvin, Beza, and Coligny, for there was a distinct French Huguenot strain in the lineage of George Washington. So George Washington had that in his blood. It came to him from his first American ancestor, Nicholas Martel, a Huguenot refugee who came to Virginia in 1620. This infusion of Huguenot blood into the Washington family is of special interest both to historians and to psychologists. Each of these learned groups appears to agree that in this blending of the Cavalier and of the Huguenot, there is definitely revealed a physical basis as well as a spiritual background for the extraordinary personages and character of Washington. So it didn't really tell you who the Huguenots were, right? But this is about, so when did the transatlantic slave trade allegedly start? 1619. So George Washington's earliest answer, a year after, 1619.
It says 1620.
I know the transatlantic slave trade started 1619.
So a year before.
Did I say it before or did I say after?
You said after.
I meant before. Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad. So they came a year, yeah,
A year before.
yeah,
1620.
yeah, they came a year before. They came a year after The transatlantic slave trade started in 1619,
Yeah. And he came.
1620.
So it's 1619 is before 1620.
Yeah, that's what. That the transatlantic slave trade started in 1619.
Mm-hmm.
They came in 1620.
So
That's a year after.
So 1619 is the year before 1620, right?
Yeah, they came a year after the transatlantic slave trade
Gotcha.
started.
That's my two.
Yeah, okay. Cavalier, okay, so now going back, so now it talks about that he was a refugee. So and that made me think, what is the origin of the word refugee?
Yeah, what does that mean? Because they call everybody that comes to another country a refugee.
So refugee,
Oh, that's right.
1680s, one who flees to a refuge or shelter or place of safety. One who in times of persecution or political disorder flees to a foreign country for safety. From French refugee, a noun use of the past participle of refugier, to take shelter, protect. From Old French refugee hiding place. From Latin refugium, a taking refuge place to flee back to. From back, refugee to flee, fugitive. Now in English, the word was first applied to French Huguenots who fled persecution in their native country after the revocation of the Edict of Nantes. The word meant one seeking asylum until 1914. Then it changed. When it evolved to mean one fleeing home. But that's refugee. So refugee goes back to Huguenot. And that's what we're learning about. So now we're going to go to history of the conquest of Spain by the Arab Moors, Volume 2. It says, Christopher Columbus found in his name the claim of his first great duty. Loyal to his sovereigns, he was the Christ bearer and the dove, the carrier dove of Christianity to the uttermost parts of the earth. But from Christian Spain, he brought without intending it only evil to the aborigines. It was the inquisition of a fierce propaganda. It was grinding labor. It was cruelty, which could only end in extermination of the natives. What he dispensed of Moorish civilization was only good. So from the Moors was only good, right? Yeah, but he took only the good stuff from the Moors, right? Okay. The inventions and discoveries they had introduced. His vessel was fitted out in that little port of Palos, which had lately been a Moorish port. His sailors were many of them men with Moorish blood in their veins. Were y'all aware that Christopher Columbus had Moors on board with him?
Mm-hmm. I kind of heard it.
Huh?
I kind of heard it.
Yeah, you probably heard a little bit. It says, it has been asserted that when the Moors were driven out, thousands took refuge in the south of France. That we just read about refugees, that's where they came from, the Huguenots, right? South of France, who afterwards, abhorring the Roman Catholic persecutions, became Huguenots. So the Moors became Huguenots. And that of these, many immigrated at a later date to South Carolina. Be that as it may, the Spaniards had found for the world a virgin land in which to introduce Spanish errors and especially Spanish bigotry. And the great tide rushed in from Protestant Europe to occupy it. So again, the Moors became, or they started calling themselves Huguenots over there. Now there's something specific about these doggone Moors. I have, in the course of this work, found occasion to present certain remarkable parallels. The careful reader of Spanish history will find all the elements of the earlier days at work in the later times, and still influential in Spain. In the north, the Goth still displays his blue blood and white skin. So the white skinned people with blue bloods were called Goths. And with them, his Teutonic independence. The isolated valleys of Castile and Aragon are still swayed by his Hispano-Roman and yet vital Celti-Iberian. In the south, in spite of Spanish disclaimers, the Moorish blood still shows itself beneath a swarthy complexion and under crisp, curling black hair. So what does that mean to y'all? That last part.
It's Hermeneutics.
Black folks.
Huh?
Black folks.
Swarthy, right? So it said, in spite of Spanish disclaimer, so they were trying to change the narrative of who the actual Spanish were.
Try to call them Moors.
Huh? Well,
No,
well,
they were just trying. So they was trying not to call them Moors.
yeah, they weren't trying to call them Moors, and then they were trying to say that another people are this. So somebody else started acting like they were the original Spanish people, right? Because, they started giving us weird names, right? So the Moors were so-called black people. After the Spanish Inquisition, that's why they left. That's why they went to France as refugees. Because, they always change the name. And then they were called Moors more so because some of them faked like they were Muslims or Muslims. And some of them were Christians. Some of them faked like they were Roman Catholics. They had to, or they were going to get killed, persecuted, right? So as we keep going, it says, the long and fierce struggle between the Christians and the Muslims had given rise to a bitter fanaticism and a blinding bigotry on the part of the former, first against the infidel, and then against heresy in all its forms. Then the Inquisition sprang into hideous being. Moriscos, we're going to look that up in a minute, Jews and halting Christians were brought before its terrible tribunal. The church would not carry out its own sentence, but released the condemned to the secular arm. And thus Spain, which would have been free and safe under its secular government, one of the most liberal in the world, became, at the bidding of the ecclesiastical authorities, a blind and grinding despotism, where life and property had no guarantee. The church and the state played into, now Moriscos, because we just read that, Moriscos, Spanish little Moors or Moriscos were Portuguese, Spanish Muslims who converted to Catholicism during the Reconquista of Spain. So once they recaptured Spain, they kicked the Moors out, right? The term later became a pejorative applied to those who had outwardly converted but secretly continued to practice Islam. But one thing, if you know about history, the Jews, the southern kingdom of Judah was actually there, and they were actually ruling with the Moors, working with them. We were like the bankers and all this other type of stuff also. So we got counted in as Moors also. Then it says, the church and state played into each other's hands. A person who offended the crown was dealt with by the church. That's why the church is a government. I keep trying to tell you, or the assembly is a government. A person suspected of heresy was burned by the state. This constant peril of life has demoralized the Spanish people, the Moors. It has led to torpor in religious belief or to hypocrisy as a defense against injustice. The world is not made up of martyrs. With this torpor and hypocrisy came weakness, where a nation only can be strong in its people. With the weakness came intrigues and conspiracies and assassinations. Sounds like us now. Thus shut up within themselves, they became suspicious. They hated strangers. They assumed a haughtiness of sentiment and demeanor. They ceased to work because labor brought no security. And so the manufactures and public works have fallen into foreign hands, which has made them unpopular. There has never been a nation so abused and injured as the Spanish nation. Who does that sound like?
Us.
It sound like us. That's what it sounds like. That sound like us. What you looking at, Bill?
Nah, I'm just even now, I'm just saying, like, even now, like, since the so-called Negro or blacks got so-called freedom,
So-called.
they go right back to
Yep.
our brown brothers and sisters to do cheap labor for a little bit of nothing and put them in a certain section
For cheap.
for cheap. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
So, according to this author, or these authors, there hasn't been a nation been as abused as the Spanish people. Okay. So we're gonna look at a byword or two. Negro. 1550s. Member of, actually, one of y'all can read this one. Go ahead.
1550s. Member of a black-skinned race of Africa, from Spanish or Portuguese, negro, Black.
When they just talking about Spain?
Yeah.
We were just talking about Spain. There hadn't been a nation more abused than the Spanish, right?
Yeah.
That's where Negro comes from.
At the time, everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
exactly. Right.
From Spanish or Portuguese, negro, black. From Latin, negro, black, dark, sable, dusty. Applied to the night sky, a storm, the complexion. Figuratively, gloomy, unlucky, bad, wicked. According to Devon, a word of unknown etymology.
So whenever you say black, because that's what Negro is,
Yeah.
that's gloomy, unlucky, bad, wicked. That's why I say stop calling yourself that, right?
According to Watkins, perhaps from pi, what's that?
No, don't worry about that. Let's go to the next one.
The Latin word also was applied to the black peoples of Africa.
A certain group of black peoples from Africa.
Okay, but the usual terms were Ethiops and
Ethiopians.
Afur.
Mhm.
As an adjective from the 1950s,
1590s.
1590s, yeah, I'm tripping. Used with a capital N
Mhm.
because generally early 20th
Century.
century
In reference,
in reference to the U.S. citizens of African descent,
us.
but because of its perceived association with white imposed attitudes and roles, the word was ousted late 1960s in this sense by black.
Like, oh yeah, they hate that word, so we'll just call them black. It means the same thing. So, literally. So jump down to this bottom paragraph.
All right, meaning African American vernacular, the English language as spoken by U.S. blacks is from 1704. French negre is a 16th century borrowing word from Spanish negro. Older English words were Moor and blackamoor, a Middle English word for Ethiopian, okay, was bloomin' or blue man.
So we'd also be called a bloom, but you see how it goes back to French again also.
Yeah.
French and Spain. I just wanted y'all to see that, right?
Yeah.
Now, they said that there hadn't been a nation more abused in all the world than the Spanish people.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we all know better than that.
We're going to go to Luke 21. We can go Luke 21. Bam, if you don't mind. Starting in verse 4.
For all these have of their
Abundance.
abundance. I was getting. I just got off 13-hour shift.
He said,
For all these have of their abundance cast into the offerings of Elohim, but she of her, what's that? Penury hath cast in all the living that she had. And as some spake of the temple, how was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as for these things which ye behold, the days will come, in which there shall not be left one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down.
So this place is going to be destroyed.
All the way destroyed, flattened.
yeah.
And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. And the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and
Commotions.
Oh, when I say commentation, I made that word up.
I never heard that one.
Commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Right.
Then he said unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famine and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven.
So we know that there's.
That's kind of going on now. Some of this stuff.
I'm glad you're paying attention. You're paying attention. That's good, because that's what he's actually going to end up talking about.
But before all these things, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
So we know that happened in 70 AD, but is that not what happened in the Spanish Inquisition? They said if they accuse you of heresy, you would go before the church, and they would burn you at the stake, or they would kill you in any type of way.
Yeah.
That's literally what we just read.
Yeah. Any elements that'll kill you. Yeah.
That's literally what we just read. I saw that and I'm like, man, you can't make this up. You can't. Keep going.
And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. Right? Okay. For I will give you a mouth of wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
So I'm going to give you the words that you should speak. I'm going to speak for you when the time comes, right?
And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
I'm telling
Who
you.
can you trust? Who can you trust?
Exactly. During that Inquisition, families, everybody was divided.
Man.
During 70 AD, the same thing was happening, and probably here in the future, it's like a cycle. It's an algorithm that happens. So again, who can you trust? You got to know who you can trust. Point blank. Period.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Oh man! All Germany, all Hungary hates Negroes.
That's what it said.
For nothing.
Yeah.
No. We do that to all Negroes.
Never
All
had,
Negroes.
I ain't never had no black folks there.
So like, don't be offended. All of y'all get this treatment.
Yeah, all of y'all get this word. Like, what you talking about?
Are
Like,
you better than the others?
Yeah.
jigaboo. Like, no. Like,
Stepping fetching. But that shall not be an hair of your head perish.
Yeah.
In your presence possess ye your souls.
Wait,
In your patience.
in your patience possess you yourselves. But he just said that, your parents, brothers, kinfolks, friends are going to portray you and you're going to get put to death. So how in the world can there not a hair in your head perish?
Because would they try?
Well, it's gonna be people who gonna get betrayed, but others who believe in the Most High and fear the Most High, He gonna protect them.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, because they're just killing the body, they can't touch that eternal thing. So it's like almost a spirit, like have confidence in me. Don't worry about it. You're going to have to go through something Mashiach, he had to go through it too.
Yeah.
But in your patience, in your faith, in your confidence, you're going to possess eternal life.
Yeah.
That's
the main thing.
Hey, what they say, if I die, don't you cry.
For real. And like, you just start reading this and like, man, that's what definitely be happening. And keep going. We're almost done with this verse.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
So when you see Jerusalem is surrounded, again, this happened in 70 AD, right?
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
So the crazy thing is, like, everyone knows, especially in Christendom, right? They believe there's a great tribulation coming. Great tribulation coming, right? Read the next verse.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people.
So the tribulation started back in really when Mashiach died, right? Because what did our people say? Hey, no, we want him to die. You give us Barabbas and let his blood be upon us. Yeah. So that's really when the tribulation started. So people are still waiting for this great tribulation. I'm like, do you not see what's been going on with our people all this time? You're talking thousands of years. And that's why Christendom is kind of behind. Like they're thinking April 8th, the 8th is going to be a rapture. Oh yeah, that's a sign the rapture is coming, this and that. Why would he rapture y'all out of something when he ain't even saved his bloodline people yet?
What are you talking about?
Christians, like Christian, it's called,
Right?
huh? Yeah, that's the Passover. And so they're believing that that's a sign of the rapture. But man, look on YouTube. You'll see all of them. Oh yeah, this is a rapture sign this, rapture sign that.
I did see something. I guess it was I think it was Hebrew brother. It was something about Hebrew. Anyway, it was the T and the A.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
That'll probably be on Shabbat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on it. Yeah. But if you're waiting for a tribulation to start, you don't know who the real people are. And if you don't know who the real people are, you don't understand the timeline. And if you don't understand the timeline, you're missing the mark already. Because they're looking at the state of Israel, and that's not the ancient Hebrew Israelites. That's not. Like, so the world's looking for something, and he said it was going to be, he said, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. So the context is the people for the tribulation. And everyone's thinking it's going to be on everybody. It is, but the judgment had to start with us first. That's why we're going to end up having a millennial reign, because we've been going from captivity to captivity to captivity. And now the kingdom of heaven is drawing near to us, so now we're going to rule. And that's what they don't like. That's why Hungary kills all of them, because Hungary's hungry. They're hangry, right? Go ahead, finish that out, man.
How you gonna rule? How you gonna rule without me?
Yeah, for real.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Is that not what happened in the transatlantic slave trade?
Yeah.
To get to all the world. Think about it, because they're waiting for this great tribulation, not paying attention to the actual people who actually went to the four corners of the world, to every nation in slavery, looking for somebody else. We are the sign. It's us. Like, the stuff is bonkers. Like, once you really awaken to that, like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Isn't that us? Like, yeah, that's us.
Wait, getting led away captive to a worldwide slavery. Wait a minute. Hold on. That only happened to us in the alleged Native Americans, certain ones of them, right?
Yeah.
So once you start reading that, and you start like, wait, no. Even in 70 AD, they didn't make it to every country. Like, no.
Yeah.
The transatlantic slave trade is literally where the full fulfillment of that happened.
Man.
And that's us. Because then we tried to escape. We were the Huguenots. We tried to escape. Some of us went to Spain. Then we tried to escape. We go to France, and then some of us came to the Americas.
Yeah.
But you can't escape these curses.
Yeah.
You can't.
But it's crazy. Like, I was thinking, like you said, some of them went to Spain. So if we went to all these places to get away and flee, 9 times out of 10 we were looking like somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then what happened to Moses when he went to Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mashiach
So-
could fit in. Mm-hmm.
If we went to Spain, like he said, ain't nobody went through what Spain went through. Maybe he was correct. Because if we went to Spain to flee,
And took over Spain.
Yeah.
no, we was already there. Because if we went there to flee,
So-
9 times out of 10 we was there. We mixing in, mingling. Is how we gonna be safe.
So this is the crazy thing about Spain. So Spain, our people actually went there when the southern kingdom of Judah went to the Babylonian captivity. The Spanish king actually sent a letter to the Babylonian king asking for some of our royalty to actually get shipped over there. So that's what he did. He shipped some of our people from the Babylon capital or from the Babylonian country or whatever, all the way over to Spain. So we were actually in Spain for over 1,000 years, literally. So we had offshoots there. A lot of us are actually those descendants. So the crazy thing is, I haven't sent this to you yet. I went and I looked up like Huguenots, right? Because Huguenots are actually Jews or the people, right? Anyway, of course, with any people, some of them are wicked, some of them are righteous. And so I found this website where it tells you Huguenot surnames.
Yeah.
And you know what name I found?
Oh, you say
Boy,
Griffin?
I saw it. I'll show you after this. I'll show you after that. But yeah, I was just like, oh wow, this thing real. Like, this thing wild. So watch it, man. Watch it. You better watch it, and I mean watch it right now. But keep on. Let's finish this out.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
So the eclipse is a sign, right? Transatlantic slave trade. And again, so he said that there will be great distress on this people, right? But then he said that we would fall by the edge of the sword, and then we'd be led away captive into all nations, right? And Jerusalem will be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times, of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So that lets you know whoever's in there right now is not the real people.
Those are Gentiles
Right.
now, yeah.
So, and then when you start like looking into last days, you got to start coming to different understandings now. Like, wait a minute. So Jerusalem is trodden down of the Gentiles until we tribe up and we come back in our standing, and the Most High delivers us and brings us back there, right? So who are these people over there? Like, what's really going on? And that's why people are really thinking, again, that it's a rapture coming on April the 8th. I'll be very surprised. Point blank period. Go ahead.
Now,
Nobody knows when the rapture is going to happen.
how long now? The rapture. What is the technical definition of rapture? What scripture definition? What is the great taking away?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, the word rapture is not in the book, but yeah, it's, what did he say? He said caught up.
And then heaven to meet the Most High.
Yeah, but like I said, that's a theology that was made by a girl who had a dream. It wasn't by the apostles.
What about the three sisters?
Something like that.
That's
Like,
in scripture?
no, that's not in scripture.
So the idea of the rapture ain't in scripture either.
I mean, you could say, be caught up, to be with him, but that's not. That's more of like an awakening. That's not necessarily because he's never done that. Like, you'd have to show me in scripture where he would like the Most High does things in patterns, man. So like, where is that pattern of that happening? Even when Enoch went to heaven, if you read the books that were taken out, he went to a specific place, and then he rode horses up in that thing to heaven.
He gave the stuff to what's his name, and then the horse.
Right. But it wasn't just like it wasn't a left behind event. Like they're trying to portray. That's not how it's going to happen. The real rapture is going to be when our people are on a mass exodus out of all these weird places going back to the land.
That's what I was coming with.
Yeah.
That's why I said I wanted to get like the textual, like the scriptural definition of rapture. But I thought it was like the great taking away or carrying away.
Yeah.
And it might just be
Back to home.
You're talking about the falling away. That talks about apostasy. That's like even now, there's when we talked about two awakenings, there's a lot of people waking up just to fall asleep, just to go into Islam, just to go into witchcraft and worshiping of themselves, and this is not. That's a great falling away. That's what you were conflating those, but
Yeah, I was just thinking like the rap, like you said, like the actual rapture probably be getting up out of here.
yeah.
Like literally leaving.
Well, y'all need to read Jeremiah because it talks about what's going to happen when Babylon is destroyed. Never be inhabited again. When the land of the north, Russia, ends up destroying this place, and everyone goes back into their own land. Everybody goes back to their own land.
It's gonna be like that movie Mad Max.
Yes, that's literally what's coming to America. A Mad Max type of thing is literally what's coming to America.
Mad Max with Tom Cruise.
That one or the one with Charlize Theron, either one. When this place just falls into chaos because there's been nuclear destruction, bombing. He didn't catch it. But April the 8th is literally a sign that your redemption, your salvation is now. I will agree to that. But go ahead, finish this one out.
Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So
those powers of heaven are the spiritual powers, but also the rulers that should not be will be thrown down. And then we get that dominion. We get that kingdom that's an everlasting kingdom. That's what they don't want. That's what the planet of the apes is really about. That's why they went and tried to escape in the stars. Because we were in our dominion ruling. And they can't stand that. That's not what they want.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So in other words, pay attention. Make sure you're paying attention to the signs and the seasons. So we were going to go more into George Washington and the Huguenots, but we're going to stop there. So we can call it. But did that make sense? Yeah.
We got some history in there too?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. So Bam, will you press out?
Heavenly Father, we want to say thank you once again for watching over us, lead us and guide us. We ask that you continue to lead us, guide us. Continue to shed your light on your word and your truth, Heavenly Father. Please continue to give Brother Manny the seeds that you will have him spread, and we will water them, Heavenly Father. We ask and pray that you just give us the discernment to know what's truth and what's not. Give us discernment of you, Heavenly Father, and no one else. We thank you and we praise you. We lift you up and we magnify your holy and righteous name. Forgive us for all our sins, we pray. Protect our children,
Yes.
our minds, our families. Keep us forever in your care. Give us the strength and guidance to guide them, Heavenly Father. For the things to come, Heavenly Father, let us not worry, but put all our trust in you.
Yes, Father.
Let us love you with all thine heart, Heavenly Father. And we ask and pray. In these my blessing of darling son, Yeshua's name. It is so.
So be it. So again, this was Tribe Mentality. I'm Yehuda. This is YAH'S Assembly. So please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like and share our content. And as always, until next time,
Shalom.
shalom, family.
Shalom.
I'm gonna play the intro.